it's our time. Get back to power. What's up?
What is up, Super Friends? Welcome. It's Thursday, June 3rd, 2:35 p.m. Apologies again for the lateness of the show. We were busy busting our asses this morning trying to get... we had 4 boxes from DC that showed up, plus 4 boxes for next week that showed up. So we're working all that, getting it all ready for pulls because it's been nuts. All these books should have been here on Friday, but they were out for delivery yesterday, and then there was a delivery exemption because of weather delays, which I guess it was too nice out for FedEx to do their job and deliver their comic books. I don't know. Anyway, we're coming at you. It is 2:35 p.m. Mountain Time here, and it's FOC. That's what we're here for. For those of you joining us for the first time, this is a show where we basically sit down and walk you through the FOC process, trying to keep you abreast of all of the books that are on Final Order Cutoff this coming week. So FOC as a store is our last chance to adjust our numbers on product before it ships out to us. So it's kind of a last call, if you will, to get your orders in to ensure that you get a copy, minus shortages, damages, missing shipments, etc. But it is it's the best way to confirm that you're going to get a copy of something that you want in your hold slot when you walk in the door. So that's what FOC is about. That's why we make a big stink about it. That's why I talk about it on the stream sale, and everybody makes jokes and laughs, but it's super important because this is the information that you have to tell me that you want it, and you get a discount on it if you've got a hold slot with us, where if you buy it on the stream sale the week that it comes out, you don't get a discount. You have to pay cover price, because I've already gone over it once. So anyhow, we're talking about stuff that's on FOC either this Sunday, June 6th for DC, or Monday, June 7th for everybody else. Most of these books are in store on June 30th, which I believe is the 5th week of the month, which is why we're going to see a lot of annuals. It's not a heavy FOC week, which is kind of nice. But there are some important things to take note of. If you see anything on this list that you are interested in, please don't comment on this video. Matt Roberts, I'm talking directly at you. A couple of weeks ago when we were doing the show, as I was sitting down on Monday to do all the FOC requests, Facebook pulled this video. So thankfully I got, I think, everybody that asked for stuff, but just to be safe, in the description for this video right here on Facebook, there is a link to the post on Facebook that I just made where you guys can comment whether you'd like to pull something or sub to something. That way it doesn't get lost. It doesn't potentially get pulled down without any explanation, because we're violating the rules of selling on Facebook. That doesn't make any sense. But that's what we want you to do. Please don't comment on this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, comment away, because that's totally fine. We always do this video live on Facebook. I'm recording it at the same time, and then I upload it to YouTube after I'm done here, so that folks that don't have Facebook as social media still have an opportunity to go through the process with us. So if you're on Facebook with me right now or watching this throughout the weekend, please don't comment on the video. Matt Roberts, please comment on the post that is linked in the description of this video. Okay? But we're talking about stuff that's coming out June 30th. If you want to subscribe to things, please comment sub with the title. If you just want to pull a copy because you're not sure, maybe you're afraid of commitment, then you can comment pull. We need the title of the book, the cover that you'd like to order, and the quantity that you'd like to order, because the sky's the limit. As long as you let us know by FOC, you can order whatever it is you want. If there's a sweet 1 in 50 incentive that you want to ensure that you get it, then you can order 50 copies of the book. We'll hook you up with a special discount, and you'll get that 1 in 50 incentive at cover price instead of $50, which it would be normally tagged at. So the last thing that I like to call attention to is the fact that covers that are in bold did not have any images at the time that I wrote this up last night. So you're going to see a couple of those. But I'll show you how to check those over the course of the weekend, okay? So for starters this week, Cullen Bunn, hot off the heels of Basilisk, which if you haven't had a chance to pick up, I haven't read it yet. I'm taking it home tonight to read it. But Randy said that it was fantastic. This is a brand new book written by Cullen Bunn with art by Andrea Moody, who did oh crap, it was an Aftershock book about killing on a subway stuff. The guy looked like Jason. I don't remember what it's called. Something killing people. Don't remember. But anyway, from Dark Horse, we've got Parasomnia number 1 of 4, written by Cullen Bunn. Oh, nope, that's not him either. With art by Andrea Moody from Prometheus and Starship Down, comes a dark new fantasy tale of two worlds split between dreams and reality. After his son disappears, a broken down man braves a nightmarish dreamscape in order to find him and battle the ruthless cult that seeks to rule the land of dreams as the barrier between realities starts to collapse. That sounds awesome. And Cullen Bunn, when he's doing his own thing, is pretty freaking awesome. So, Maniac of New York. That's what it is. That's the book Andrea Moody is doing right now for Aftershock. Main cover on the far left over there is by Andrea Moody. Variant cover right here beside me, Raphael Albuquerque. 4-issue miniseries, written by Cullen Bunn, published by Dark Horse. Get that on your hold slot, and make sure you check out Basilisk. There's a second print. It just came out yesterday. There's a second print of number 1 that's already on FOC for this Monday. So just be aware. Okay, from DC this week, we got a bunch of annuals, because like I said, it's the 5th week of the month. There's, not a ton of stuff, so what do publishers do? They cram a $6, $7 annual down your throat to make sure that they're getting plenty of your money out of the wallets. The return of Future State's House of L. It's time to head back to tomorrow as Superman's descendants face a threat from today. This special tale connects to Warworld Rising as the actions of Clark Kent in the present reverberate, leaving long-lasting changes and a deadly threat for the House of L to reckon with. Can Brandon Kent, Superman of his era, stop the danger from hurting the next generation? Also, for those wanting to know more about Brandon's relationship with Theander, the Tamaranian Queen, prepare yourself for a little romance as well. Cover A on the far left over there is by Scott Godlewski. Cover B right here beside me is by Valentin Delandro. $5.99, $6.99. If you're subbed to Action Comics, we will have a copy of that waiting for you, depending on which cover you're subscribed to. Okay. Next from DC, we've got Catwoman Annual number 1. Father Valley is a mystery. His unusual style as a hitman, his habit of keeping a Bible designated for each of his targets, his macabre and particular method of elegant savagery, his insistence on waiting until his target has reached their highest point before he strikes them down. These are all strange and enigmatic traits that have remained unexplained until now. Bear witness to Father Valley's past with the Order of St. Dumas and his unexpected connection with Azrael to learn the method to his madness, and see once and for all why Catwoman should be deathly afraid of being on his hit list. Cover A over there on the very far left is by Kyle Hotz. Cover B right here beside me is by Liam Sharp. Again, $5.99, $6.99, and we will have one of those waiting for you in your hold slot depending on which cover you're subscribed to. Flash Annual number 1, might as well, right? The lightning-fast, action-packed Surge storyline races to its conclusion as Wally West returns to the present day with a new perspective on the past and a reinvigorated desire to take back the mantle of the Flash. With one last hurdle to leap, Wally puts the past behind him, but he'll need to propel himself further and faster than ever before to do it. Cover A on the far left is by Brandon Peterson. Cover B right here beside me is by Brett Booth, and it's a sideways cover. That's pretty cool. $5.99 and $6.99 again for those. Next from DC comes Teen Titans Academy 2021 Yearbook number 1, one-shot, annual, any other adjective that you could possibly think of to use. That's what we're talking about here. As the first quarter of classes draws to an end at the Teen Titans Academy, get a closer look at how students such as the mysterious Stitch enrolled catch up with the status of Beast Boy and Raven's relationship, and maybe, just maybe, get some clues on the origin of the new Red X. Cover A on the far left over there is by Various, because there's a lot of artists that have contributed to that little makeshift yearbook. Cover B right here beside me is by Rafa Sandoval. $5.99, $6.99. Teen Titans Academy Yearbook 2021, annual, one-shot, whatever you want to call it. Okay? Lastly, from DC this week comes the original graphic novel Whistle, From New York Times bestselling author E. Lockhart and artist Manuel Pretano comes a new Gotham City superhero in this exciting YA graphic novel. 17-year-old Willow Zimmerman has something to say. When she's not on the streets advocating for her community, she's volunteering at the local pet shelter. She seeks to help all those in need, even the stray dogs she's named Leibowitz that follows her around. But as much as she does for the world around her, she struggles closer to home, taking care of her mother, who was recently diagnosed with cancer. In desperation, she reconnects with her estranged Uncle Edward, and he opens the door to an easier life. Through simple jobs such as hosting his private poker nights with Gotham City's elites, she is able to keep her family afloat and afford critical medical treatments for her mother. Then one night, Willow and Leibowitz collide with the monstrous Killer Croc and get injured, waking up able to understand each other. But then Willow discovers that Edward and his friends are actually some of Gotham's most corrupt criminals, and she must make a choice. Remain loyal to the man who kept her family together, or use her new powers to be a voice for her community. 208 pages, $16.99. Whistle. That sounds pretty cool. Uncle Edward Nigma. From IDW this week, we've got Godzilla Rivals, which is a series of one-shots. They're quarterly one-shots that are going to kind of focus on different, obviously, rivals of Godzilla. This one, his rival Hedorah. It's a one-shot, number one, in the 70s, and the world's most terrifying kaiju smash their way through New York City. As Godzilla and Hedorah do battle above, down below, Todd Hopkins is racing across Manhattan in a desperate bid to save the only scientist who can stop the chaos and drive the monsters back into the sea. But before the day is over, secrets will be revealed and terrible choices made to save the city from utter destruction. Writer Paul Allor and artist E.J. Sue join forces to bring the premiere Godzilla vs. quarterly one-shot series in an explosively shocking fashion. 48 pages, $7.99. Godzilla Rivals number one. Pretty cool. This is pretty rad. Next from IDW, we've got Usagi Yojimbo, The Dragon Bellow Conspiracy, number 1 of 6. Presenting the start of perhaps Usagi's greatest story ever. A sinister plot to overthrow the shogun percolates, and one of Usagi's friends is captured. The ensuing machinations will draw in not only Usagi, but bounty hunter Gen and the blind swords pig Zato Ino. All new color makes this a must-have for any longtime fan, as well as a great place to start for any new readers looking to start their own Usagi Yojimbo journey. With a story by Stan Sakai and art and cover by the incomparable Mr. David Peterson. Look at that thing. That's awesome. Usagi Yojimbo, Dragon Bellows Conspiracy, number 1 of 6. From Image this week, I'm pretty jazzed about this, man. Crossover number 7 is finally coming out. It is the start of a brand new story arc written by Chip Zdarsky with art by our friend Mr. Phil Hester and Andy Parks. Wait, hold on. What is this? Why is Chip writing my book? Sorry, I know this is unprofessional to do in public, but no one in Image is answering my emails. Someone please call me. What is happening? With a story by Zdarsky, cover by Zdarsky, and art by Phil Hester and Andy Parks inside. So don't miss out. If you're on Crossover, you don't have to worry about it. Next from Image comes Spawn number 319. This is where it all starts, folks. This month in the pages of Spawn, we plant the seed that will grow into the new Spawn's Universe number 1, which is also going to be available later this month. Yes, the publishing world of Spawn is officially expanding, and this is the jumping on point for new readers. New threats, new allies, and more importantly, new titles. Cover A on the far left over there by Bjorn Barons. Cover B, you'll notice that it is up here in bold by Todd McFarlane because we didn't have that when I wrote this up last night. And cover C right here beside me is by Francesco Mattina. So 3 covers for Spawn number 319. We're going to have Spawn Universe that comes out. That's a one-shot. And then you're going to have a Gunslinger Spawn. There's 3 new titles that are spinning out of Spawn Universe, and I don't remember what they are, but this is the start, kids. For Marvel this week, we've got another annual. This is Black Cat Annual number 1. which is just a one-shot. It is another tie-in to the Infinite Destinies story arc. Felicia Hardy's vacation is interrupted when a layover in South Korea turns into an insane caper. The caper is a deadly journey across Seoul, where she comes face-to-face with Taeguki, White Fox, and Tiger Division from Taskmaster number 3. And what does this have to do with the Infinity Stones? Find out this June. Also in this issue, part 3 of 8 of Infinite Fury, with a main cover over there on the far left by C.F. Villa and a Ron Lim connecting cover that's going to bring them all together. Okay? Next from Marvel, we've got another Giant Size Amazing Spider-Man Chameleon Conspiracy number 1, just a one-shot. The epic conclusion of the Chameleon Conspiracy. If you thought the end of King's Ransom shook Spider-Man to the core, you better think again, as this ending will level things up. Main cover on the far left over there by Mr. Mark Bagley. Variant cover right here beside me by Ryan Stegman as he's punching the face of Aunt May off of Chameleon. That's fantastic. Amazing Spider-Man, Giant Size Amazing Spider-Man, The Chameleon Conspiracy, number 1. I had to feature this book because it's a frickin' Jedi riding a GD Rancor monster, and that is amazing. That's all I have to say about this. This is Star Wars High Republic number 6. The galaxy unites against the Drengir. A frontier in crisis, the Jedi of Starlight Beacon have joined forces with a feared enemy to face the terror of the unstoppable Drengir horde. While Avar Kriss and her new allies fight nightmarish creatures on the lava world of Davak, can Keeve Trennis save her former master from complete absorption? And who or what is the great progenitor? With the main cover, did I mention that there's a Jedi riding a Rancor monster on the main cover? Because that's awesome. Main cover by Phil Noto. The Pride cover right here beside me is by Javi Garan. But it's a Jedi riding on a Rancor. That's probably the coolest way to travel if you're in space or a Star Wars person. So, way better than a Tauntaun. Finally, from Marvel, we've got United States of Captain America, number 1 of 5. I know there's a lot of folks that are super excited about this 5-issue miniseries. The shield has been stolen. No one understands the value of the shield like those who have wielded it. So, Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson set out on a road trip across America to chase down the thief. But instead, they find the captains, everyday people from all walks of life who've taken up the mantle of Captain America to defend their communities. And for some reason, the shield thief wants them all dead. Can Sam and Steve get to them first? Written by Christopher Cantwell with art by Dale Eaglesham, they lead a can't-miss miniseries to celebrate Captain America's 80th anniversary, joined by a rotating series of creative teams to tell the stories of each new captain, starting with Aaron Fisher, the Captain America of the Railways, brought to life by Josh Trujillo and Jan Bazaldua, with a main cover by Alex Ross. I mean, it doesn't get a whole lot better than that, right, kids? There we go. So Alex Ross main cover. We've got a design variant on the far left over there by Jan Bazaldua of the Captain of the Railways, Aaron Fisher, and the variant cover, which is a headshot cover right there by Mr. Todd Knock. United States of Captain America number 1 of 5. From Boom Studios this week, we get a Power Rangers one-shot. This is Power Rangers Unlimited Edge of Darkness number 1. Answering Zordon's call, the Phantom Ranger investigates the aftermath of an Imperial attack, only to discover their connection to an ancient evil he encountered long ago, which may have finally returned to threaten the entire universe. This is cool because Rising Star writer Frank Gogol of Dead End Kids and artist Simone Ragazzoni present the first full appearance of the Phantom Ranger in a story that will ripple through the Power Rangers franchise. Main cover over there by Dan Mora, variant cover right here beside me, Jung Gen Yoon, 40 pages, $7.99. Frank's a really cool dude, and he absolutely wrote how ecstatic he was to be writing this. This is one of his dream projects. Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles, and I can't remember what else. So he's getting his breakout right here. Power Rangers Unlimited Edge of Darkness, number 1. I'm pretty jazzed about this one, kids. From Vault Comics this week comes Barbaric, number 1. I mean, it's a little tongue-in-the-cheek, maybe, with Berserker coming out, but here we go. written by Michael Morrissey with art and cover by Nathan Gooden, Owen the Barbarian has been cursed to do good with what remains of his life. His bloodthirsty weapon, axe, his axe has a face, and he's hungry for blood, which is awesome, has become his moral compass with a drinking problem. Together they wander the realm, foredoomed to help any who seek assistance. But there is one thing Owen hates more than a life with rules, and that is witches. Welcome to the skull-cracking, blood-splattering, mayhem-loving comic brave enough to ask, how can a man sworn to do good do so much violence? Ha! Just effing with you, it's just barbaric. With the main cover over there on the far left by Nathan Gooden, a variant cover B right here beside me by Josh Hickson. Cover C right there is by Tim Daniel, and that is of course a parody or an homage to Conan #1. There is also a cover D that is a black bagged cover, which is going to be by Tim Seeley, probably because it is brutal AF and you're not going to be able to see it without crying some tears of blood and happiness. So Barbaric #1 promises to be absolutely ridiculous and a lot of fun. So check that out. From Archie Comics comes The Mighty Crusaders, The Shield #1. This is just a one-shot. The Shield is back. America's first patriotic superhero, The Shield, has persevered through countless challenges and always manages to come out on top. But what happens when the forces beyond anyone's control threaten the Shield's legacy of fighting for truth and justice? Follow Joe Higgins as The Shield and get ready for some surprises. In this new one-shot comic featuring art by Rob Liefeld and a story by David Gallagher. Are you ready for all these covers, kids? Because there's a bunch of them. Cover A, far left, Rob Liefeld. Cover B, right here beside me, that is by Franco Francavilla. Cover C, far left over there, Aaron Lopresti. Cover D, David Mack, that's fantastic. Cover E, far left over there, is by Jerry Ordway. Cover F is supposed to be a secret variant by Rob Liefeld. Cover G is a black and white cover by Rob Liefeld. I want you guys to make a fist and then look at that fist and tell me how your fist looks compared to Rob Liefeld's fist on the Shield. I don't understand unless he's making a fist like this. That's what his fists look like. Not like this. Not like a normal person would make a fist. It's like this with the thumb, but you don't even see the edge of the thumb, so it's like, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand anatomy. I don't think Rob does either. But that's The Shield, just a one-shot, and it's $4. Okay? That's the book I was just talking about that I couldn't think of by Andrea Moody. All right, that brings you to our subsequent print speculation section. This is a little segment where we like to highlight second or third or fourth or fifth or so on printings that are available for you at Final Order Cutoff. The subsequent prints are usually smaller print runs than the originals, and as of late they command more value on the secondary market, sometimes as soon as they come out. So if you order them at FOC, you get them for cover price. If you wait till the day that they come out, they're probably going to be market value, because what do Comics and Lobster have in common? They're both sold at market prices. So first up, from Aftershock, we've got a bunch of them this week. Maniac of New York, #2, getting a second print. That is a recolored cover by Andrea Moody, who's doing the art for the new Cullen Bunn series from Dark Horse we talked about above. We Live, #1, is getting a fourth printing with its super cool fold-out gatefold cover. This time all kind of blue and purple, and it looks awesome. We Live #5 is getting a third print. They just had a second print that came out like 2 weeks ago. I guess that's sold out. Third print available to order on Monday. There it is, kids. I mentioned it earlier, from Boom Studios. Basilisk #1 just came out Wednesday. Second print already. That is by Cullen Bunn and Jonas Scharf. It is absolutely gorgeous. Randy read it and he's raving about it, so I got to take a copy home tonight to check it out. But second print on FOC on Monday, so don't miss out. I don't have an image, that's why it's in bold. Speaking of image, Made in Korea #1, getting a second print. We still have tons of copies of #1 first prints, so if you need one of those, let me know. But if you're a second print fan, you can certainly order one of those on FOC Monday. And then look at this, kids. Get a load of this. Walking Dead Deluxe is getting another 6-issue second print David Finch zombified character headshot cover series. Starting with issue number 7. Oh, let me go back down. There's issue number 7 with Tyrese. Number 8, I think that's Dale. Number 9, I don't know. It's been so long since I read Walking Dead. Number 10, is that Herschel maybe? Number 11, one of the Herschel's daughters. And number 12, I don't know, but there you go. We've got a whole host, 7 through 12, all getting second prints of Walking Dead Deluxe. Brand new covers. David Finch killing it on those covers. They're creepy, man. Just look at that guy's lips are peeling off on that side. If maybe you should put some chapstick on, friend. Wouldn't have that problem. I don't know. From Scout, Locust #1 is getting a second print that's also on FOC on Monday. So that's that wraps your second print section up there. The last little bit that we do is our Who Does #2 Work For Spotlight. I forgot to play the #2 or the second print video. So here you go.
Who does #2 work for? Who does #2 work for?
That's right, buddy. You show that turd who's boss.
I couldn't think of anything better to call this, so we went with Who Does #2 Work For from that scene in Austin Powers. So this is a section where we spotlight issue #2s that are on FOC. You might have picked up a #1 off the rack, read it. If you dug it, great. Add it to your subscription. That way you don't miss out on anything. If you're not sure if you want to keep going, Greg Homer, that's you. Greg Homer's pulled, I think, every issue of Stillwater. He just doesn't want to commit to ordering it. So every time there's a new issue of Stillwater, he asks to pull a copy of 6 and 7 and 8, and it's like, Greg, you've gotten them all so far. Just subscribe to it, you crazy goof. But that's why we feature the second print, or Who Does #2 Work For, just in case you would like to order a #2, to make sure that you at least have the second part of a story, and then you can throw it in the trash or whatever. So first from Dark Horse, we've got Far Cry Rite of Passage #2 of 3. The value of family is shown through the fateful demise of a man who saw no bounds to what he was willing to sacrifice for his ends, the notorious Pagan Min. Features fan favorite villains from Far Cry 3, 4, and 5 with a cover. Very cool, very pretty pastel cover by Mr. Matt Taylor. Next from Dark Horse, we've got Witch's Lament #2 of 4. Geralt's rescue mission takes a turn when Guillotine refuses his help. Drawn to the cult's settlement, he finds himself an unwitting participant in one of their most sacred rituals. Cover A on the far left is by the interior artist Vanessa Del Rey. Cover B, right here beside me, that's fantastic, by Anato Finstark. There is also a C cover by somebody with the name of Coital. We didn't have an image for that one, so. Okay, from Image this week, we just talked about #1 getting a second print. Here is #2, Made in Korea, #2 of 6. Jeremy Holt, George Shaw, setup doesn't work. Try to fix setup issues with your proxy. Check that your child is on. Check that your child is connected to Wi-Fi. Reboot your child. Reset your child to its factory settings. #1, press and hold the action button behind the left ear. Wait until the light ring turns green, about 25 seconds. So that's all we have for the description. Made in Korea, #2 of 6. Okay? From Marvel this week, Shang-Chi #2. Shang-Chi versus Captain America. Shang-Chi's taking on the whole damn Marvel Universe. Here he's fighting Cap. There's a cosmic cube for sale, and everyone from Hydra to AIM to the Hand is ready to pay up for it, but Shang-Chi and his 5-weapon society might outbid them, unless a certain Star-Spangled Avenger has anything to say about it. Uh-oh. Main cover over there is by Lionel Yu. The Spider-Man Villains variant right here beside me is by Natasha Bustos, and can't do an FOC show without a Peach Momoko thing, right? That is the Peach Momoko variant right there for Shang-Chi #2. And that wraps it, kids. The last little bit that we leave you with every time we do this show is the list of everything coming out It's all broken down by publisher. So first you see we've got all the DC stuff. There's not a... you can go to lunardistribution.com, and they have a consumer side of their website there that you can look at all of these things that are coming up on FOC. For everything else, here we go from Boom Studios, broken down by publisher. Let's see if we have an update on Basilisk. We do this show kind of early. The way that you can use this, though, is you basically highlight the item code that you want to talk about, you want to look up, copy that sucker to your clipboard, open up a new web browser, paste that sucker into your favorite web browser. Ta-da! You can't see it very well, but over there on the left, up here at the top, is the previewsworld.com listing for Basilisk #1 second print. So we're going to click on that link, and damn, image coming soon. No image for that, but you can see all of the solicit info there for you, when it's supposed to be in store, when final orders are due, what suggested retail price is, and you can use this list, let me go back, to your advantage over the weekend. I got to show you this. I didn't talk about it, I didn't feature it, but it's pretty rad. From Dark Horse, they're doing a Hellboy Omnibus boxed set of all 4 of the trade paperbacks. It's got a $100 price tag on it, but look at how cool this thing is. We're going to copy that sucker. We're going to do the same thing. Paste that item code into a web browser of your choice. Boom. Look at this thing, kids. Hellboy Omnibus box set, previously available only as individual volumes. All 4 Hellboy series omnibuses, Seed of Destruction, Strange Places, Wild Hunt, and Hellboy and Hell are available together in a specially designed box with an exclusive artwork by Mike Mignola, expertly colored by Dave Stewart. Look at this thing. Look at that thing, kids. That is pretty freaking cool. But it's $100, so I totally understand. But that's how you can use this list to your advantage over the weekend. You can take all of these things. You can look at all of these things. Let's say... so Shannon Mayer's pretty cool. He's a pretty hot artist right now. Vampirella's got a Shannon Mayer cover. You can copy this item code from Dynamite. Same thing, kids. Paste it into a web browser of your choice, and boom, boom, there you go. There's some hotness for you. There's the Vampirella #21 C cover by Shannon Mayer. Cover price $3.99. Use this list. Put your list together. Send it to us. Just make sure that you have it to us by Sunday, 11 a.m. for DC, or Monday at 11 a.m. for everybody else. Sky's the limit if that's the case, friends. I don't think that there was anything. There's all the Marvel stuff. You've got all the other things. I don't think that there were any other second prints that I missed out on. I think I got them all, maybe. So there you go. That's how this list can benefit you, as long as you take the time to go through it and take a look. So that's all I have for you guys. Be safe out there. Like I said, we have our DC books in, so you can come by, clear out your hold slot, get a lot of awesome reading material for this weekend. If you have questions about any of the process that FOC is, or comics, or ordering, reach out. Let me know. I'm happy to talk shop with you. We're all about transparency here at the store, and the more I can educate you about how the things work, hopefully the better understanding and relationship we will have together. So thanks for taking time out to watch the video. I'm John. Make sure we're going to try to do a stream sale tonight, but it's already 3 o'clock, and I don't know if that's going to happen. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So have a great weekend. We'll see you.